Hello? Al-Qaeda? Oh, hi there. Yeah, just thought I'd call to let you know. Don't worry about those terrorist attacks you're planning. We've decided to smash the country up ourselves. Yeah. OK, bye. Oh, hello, and welcome to the riot-free return of the Dugout. Yes, it's been a hectic week across the country, but we're here to calm things down. We would urge all our viewers to resist the temptation to join in the violence, but seeing as most of you can't even pluck up the courage to leave the house and speak to a girl, it seems unlikely that you're going to start lobbing bricks at a line of riot police. The disorder claimed a number of football matches this week, with England's utterly pointless friendly against Holland being called off, so I suppose at least one good thing's come out of it. But let's put those riots to one side and find out what the guff has been going on in the world of football over the past few weeks. Well, the transfer window is well and truly open, and my oh my, how tediously dull it's been. Cesc Fabregas has been boring everyone rigid with that will he, won't he tale. Manchester United have signed Ashley Young and some other guy, I can't remember his name. And Joey Barton has been ousted from the Newcastle setup and has taken to quoting George Orwell, William Shakespeare and all them other writers on Twitter. Ours is not to do or die. Ours is to put a cigar out in your eye. In hair news, Wazaroon got a hairpiece fitted, which is looking amazing. And former England boss Sven-Goran Eriksson has taken to signing half the Football League for his Leicester side, presumably so he can cosy up to their wives on the sly.
Arsenal Home, a badge that's too big and a commemorative kit to celebrate 125 years. What kind of anniversary is that? Made out of plastic, it'll have more bottle than Arsenal's players this season. Not a bad kit, but spectacularly ruined by the kind of logo you'd expect in a northern pie shop, all thanks to those chicken sexers at Venky's. Not happy with the weird barcode they put on last season's shirt, Reebok went back to the drawing board and put together the leftover bits of the London 2012 logo to come up with this. Perhaps thinking it might stop opposing players seeing where their sweary keeper is, the Toffees have gone for this camouflage number. Put your money on OG Fest this season at Goodison Park. Sponsored by Cash Converters, it can only get more embarrassing if Hull brought back orange-skinned, earpiece-wearing, idiotic League One manager Phil Brown, who apparently still wants to go home.
Now, we here at the Dugout are a generous bunch. I watch comic relief every single year, and I even gave a guide dog a stroke once. Pretty altruistic, I'm sure you'll agree. That is why we've decided to adopt our very own football team and follow their fortunes throughout the coming season. The team we've picked at random? Bishop's Stortford. Who, I hear you ask? Well, stop being so bloody ignorant and watch this. Bishop Stortford is a town in Hertfordshire situated just 4 miles from Stansted Airport. They were formed in 1874 and are nicknamed the Blues because, well, they play in blue, don't they? And they've got a lovely little ground called Woodside Park. They won the FA Amateur Cup in 1974, the FA Trophy in 1981, and they even reached the FA Cup third round once, losing to Middlesbrough in a replay. They've also won a match 19-0. 19-0 against Newtown Rovers in 1892. Stortford have had some right big names in the past, with former Arsenal pair John Radford and Martin Hayes both managing the club. And do you remember FA Cup hero Roy Essendoe? Well, he used to play for them too. Now their star men are a fella called Blue Braithwaite, a guy called Mo Habu, and Jordan's ex Alex Reid. Cage fighter! It's not him really. Despite being from the south, Stortford are being made to play in the Conference North next season. What is all that about? Well, we can find out because their manager is on the phone right now. Mr. Ian Walker, good day to you. Can you explain to us in simple terms why Bishop Stortford in Hertfordshire are playing in the Conference North this season?
Well, I'll try to. Well, what happened was Rushden Diamonds from the conference, they got kicked out of the league. Southport then got reinstated into the conference. Thurrock got reinstated into the Conference South. And seeing as we are the furthest north club out of the South Division, we were the ones who got put into the North. So
I mean, that is pretty unlucky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, I think Braintree went up from our league from the South last year, so they're about 1.5 miles further north than us. So if they hadn't have gone up, we'd have still been in the South. But as it is, we're going north, and it's going to be a good adventure, I think.
Yeah, and it's your first full season in charge of the club. What are your main aims for this season?
We're just trying to get a decent side together within the budget that we got to try and get as high as we can up the league. I think it's more important really that the club survives more than anything. I think the chairman's been put under a lot of pressure with the extra money that he's got to find for travelling, etc. So for us as a staff and as a club, it's important that we can survive and that we try and put a decent side out that can do well in the league, and that's basically it at the moment.
Okay, well you may not know this, Ian, but I'm a bit of a football manager myself, mainly on the computer game Football Manager. I often play as Bishop Stortford. I've made my way into the Premier League with them. I've even won the Euro Cup, the UEFA Cup, European Cup. Do you think I can be of any help in the tactics department at all?
Yeah. Send your CV in.
Okay.
We'll have a look at it.
Good stuff. I mean, what else do you think I can help out with? Because obviously I know you have an assistant manager at the moment, but you know, I can sell some programs, I can come down and help raise some money. Anything you want, sir. What can you suggest for me?
You can come along on match days and help us. We might need another bus driver, someone who can help with the kit, and we ease you in gently. You know, maybe you can come as a trainer down with us on Tuesday and a Thursday night and help us out as well.
Fantastic. Ian, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. We'll catch up with you and Bishop Stortford in our next show. Good luck and Godspeed. Now, last season, you may remember we asked for your nominations for our Bucket of Oblivion. It was kind of like Room 101, but with just enough changes to avoid a lawsuit. Anyway, we picked the best 3 and wrote to football associations around the world to try and get some bloody laws changed. For an update on that, check out the video on our Facebook page. This season, though, we've decided to be a little bit more positive. May I please present to you the Dugout Time Capsule of all that is great in football. Yes, impressive. Over the coming season, we want to fill this time capsule up with the great and the good of football. Jerry Francis's hair, Jimmy Hill's chin, and Gunnosaurus's t-shirt cannon. At the end of the season, we shall bury it in a top secret location, and then, in 700 years' time, our future robot grandchildren will dig it up and feast on such delights as Hazel Irvine's presenting of Grandstand. Email us at the address on the screen right now, or you can be all technological in that and go onto the Facebook page. You lot have already been submitting nominations, so here are a few to get the rest of you going. Craig Adlard wants to see a plaster cast of Chris Kamara's face in the capsule. Ian Lee suggested Gazza's goal against Scotland, just in case a Scot digs it up. And Mark A. Rogers, not really getting to the positive spirit of the item, wants to see Gary Neville in the time capsule. Buried. Alive. Charming.
Blech.
Oh yeah, I bloody love this one. This one is bloody amazing. I love music, me. So much so that I went to go and chat to my new favourite band, Hardfi. In the first part of our new feature, the Dugout goes and talks to celebrities about football and whatever product they want to plug. I'm joined by Hardfi's Steve and Rich. Guys, first of all, new album out, new single as well, Fire in the House. Tell us about it. Whose house was it? What was the cause of the fire?
Well, as you know, most fires in the house are caused by cigarettes and chip fat. So that's what we should have called the album, Cigarettes and Chip Fat.
Yeah.
But,
could have worked.
Yeah, but no, instead, you know that bit at the end of Terminator where like Sarah Connor's driving down to the Mexican border and the little kid says there's a storm coming.
Yeah, yeah.
And she goes, I know. And that's obviously the end of the world.
Was that your inspiration?
Yeah, that was the start of it.
And you're both football fans, aren't you? Who do you support?
Steve's the Reds, Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
And I'm Brentford.
Okay, Brentford. You got a new manager, Uwe Rosler.
Yeah, very
Former
exciting.
Manchester City striker.
Oh, I saw him play against Brentford. City played Brentford in the FA Cup, and it was him and Kinkladze were playing, and they beat us. So I mean, at that time they were actually in what is now Division 1, and we'd gone down that year. So they were struggling at the time. But I mean, he is a City legend, and I mean, I was quite when I heard about it, I was like, actually, this is quite cool. He's like thinking outside the box, you know, not just kind of going, let's do the usual. And so far, you know, it's hard. I mean, I kind of want to get optimistic. You know, why not? What's the worst that can happen?
And as for you, Steve, return of King Kenny, back end of last season, he's been splashing the cash like a wag.
He's already made, you know, at end of last season, he made some pretty serious signings again for reasonably young players for a lot of money. After Torres went, you know, he wasn't afraid to put his hand in his pocket then either. And that kind of, even though they've not had a chance to prove themselves yet, they've looked like good signings. That's looked good. So I'm gonna trust him.
We've got some viewers' questions as well. They're slightly left field, so forgive us. First one, who's your favourite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and why? And that's from Dolman.
It was. Which one you used to eat loads?
It was
Donatello, was it? No, it wasn't Donatello.
Raphael. Raphael?
No, it wasn't. Raphael was the red bandana.
Who were the others?
It was the one
Leonardo.
with the orange. Leonardo.
Michelangelo.
It was Michelangelo. Michelangelo was my favourite because he was like the real surfer dude. He just ate loads of pizza the whole time.
You don't look like you eat at all.
Hey, I just put it. I've got hollow legs.
John Lennon once claimed about the Beatles, we're more popular than Jesus now. Given the continuing further decline in church attendance since that quote was made, would you say that Hardfire could also justifiably lay claim to being more popular than Jesus? That's from Yellow Monkey.
I'd say no.
Yeah. No. Jesus is all empowering, man.
He's still pretty popular in most, you know, most places. They seem to like him quite a lot. We've got a little bit of work to do yet.
Rich and Steve, it's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentlemen of Hardfire.
Not content with spouting absolute gibberish on Soccer Saturday, Dean Windass returned to the Hull City pitch to hide behind a cardboard cutout of himself, and then run like an absolute freak and score a penalty against a man dressed as a tiger. And then does this odd dance. Octopus. Dean Windass clearly is a footballer behaving madly.
We here at the Dugout are rather au fait with modern technology, and my, how it's progressed in the past 5 years or so. Men on the moon, Wazaroon on Twitter, hoverboards for sale in Tesco's, busty sex robots available on the NHS. It's all happening, so we've decided to embrace these advances and put ourselves at the forefront of the techno revolution. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Dugout answer phone service. It may look like a phone, but it's so much more than that. If we've learned anything from the past few months, it is that voicemail is the most secure method of communication out there, and we want to be at your beck and call 24 hours a day. So if you have any messages of support, celebrity sightings, transfer gossip, abuse, or if you're a lonely sex goddess looking for a good time, then please call this number and leave us a horny old message. 07748 075 447. Calls cost whatever you normally pay, and please ask your mummy or daddy for permission if you're a little goody two-shoes who can't think for themselves. Well, that's about it for our first show of the new season, and wasn't it f***ing great? Indeed it was. It really was. We'll be back soon with yet more hilarity and swearing, but in the meantime, try and boost our fan numbers, / my ego on our Facebook page, or follow us on Twitter for all sorts of 140 character-related nonsense, and even live commentary. In the meantime, enjoy your football, and bye for now.